The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense latest intelligence update on Ukraine, October 2, 2023. The naval aviation component of Russia's Black Sea Fleet has taken on an increasingly important role in recent weeks as the fleet struggles to manage threats on multiple fronts in the Ukraine war. Naval aircraft are prioritizing maritime patrols, likely with the key mission of early detection of unmanned surface vessels. A pivotal asset in these operations is the antiquated BE-12 male amphibious plane, flying out of bases in occupied Crimea. Originally designed in the 1950s, the B-12's advanced age underscores the strains on Russia's naval air power. Combat jets, including Su-24 Fencers and flanker variants, conduct maritime strike operations, including at least one recent airstrike on strategically located Snake Island. As more fleet activities shift to Novorossiysk due to threats to Sevastopol, Russia is attempting to leverage naval aviation to project force over the northwestern Black Sea. The increased operational tempo highlights the critical role of naval air power in enabling the Black Sea Fleet to defend Russia's southern flank amid mounting pressure. However, dependence on aging aircraft like the B-12 also underscores potential vulnerabilities and maintenance challenges. Ukraine Armed Forces General Staff Update. Day 586 of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine continues. The Ukrainian military repelled 22 Russian attacks across multiple axes on October 1st. Russia launched 7 Shahed-136 and Shahed-131 kamikaze drones from the southeast, 4 of which were intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses. In total, Russia carried out 5 missile strikes, 39 airstrikes, and 20 multiple-launch rocket system bombardments against Ukrainian positions and settlements, causing civilian casualties. The situation remains difficult in eastern and southern Ukraine. Key developments. Northern axes, Volyn, Polisia, Siversk, Sloboshansk. No major changes. Some Belarusian units remain near the border but no offensive buildup seen. Russia shelled over 25 settlements from its territory. Kupiansk axis. Russia struck Ivanivka and Cherneshchina, shelled over 10 settlements. Lyman axis. Ukraine repelled attacks near Makivka. Russia struck Zarechny, Spern, Lyman and shelled numerous settlements. Bakhmut axis. Russia unsuccessfully tried to retake Andriivka. Struck Klishchivka, Oleksandro Shultine, shelled 20-plus settlements. Avdiivka axis. Russia unsuccessfully tried to retake positions near Stepov, shelled over 10 settlements. Marinka axis. Ukraine repelled 6 Russian attacks near Marinka, 1 near Novomikhailivka. Russia struck and shelled numerous settlements. Shakhtarsk axis. Ukraine repelled Russian attacks near Staromayorsky, Rivnopol. Russia struck and shelled over 10 settlements. Zaporizhia axis. Ukraine repelled Russian attacks west of Verbov. Russia struck Mala-Tokmachka, shelled 25-plus settlements. Kherson axis. Russia struck Mykolaievka, shelled 15-plus settlements including Kherson City. Ukraine continues offensive operations in the south and east, inflicting losses. Ukraine's Air Force conducted 11 airstrikes against Russian targets, while missile forces struck concentrations of troops and equipment. The Institute for the Study of War Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. A prominent Russian military blogger claimed that Airborne Forces Commander Colonel General Mikhail Teplinsky saved the battered 31st Guards Airborne Brigade fighting south of Bakhmut. The blogger recalled a conversation with the late 31st Brigade Commander Colonel Andrei Kondrashkin, who revealed major personnel losses and cratering morale before his death around Bakhmut in mid-September. Kondrashkin said commanders demanded decisive action, while knowing his forces lacked motivation. Kondrashkin did not raise concerns to top brass, instead blaming lack of cohesion. But the blogger contends cohesion was not the issue. Rather, Kondrashkin faced sacrificing his troops or his career by protesting orders. He never got to make that choice, sustaining fatal injuries after the talk. The blogger credits Teplinsky with saving the 31st by taking the remnants under his wing for respite. This echoes claims by another blogger about Teplinsky rescuing airborne units in western Zaporizhia. The account highlights how frontline morale and manpower shortages burden even elite Russian units. It also underscores rifts between commanders over what sacrifices to ask of depleted troops against unrealistic demands by top brass. Teplinsky allegedly shielded battered units from further damage, but systemic pressures remain. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways today. Ukrainian forces made marginal gains along the Donetsk-Zaporizhia border amid ongoing counteroffensives in western Zaporizhia and near Bakhmut. Russian military bloggers speculate the Wagner Group may come under state control, highlighting its growing power. Tensions persist over Chechen Bakhmut units boasting superiority over regular Russian forces. Russia conducted limited Shahed drone strikes after record attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure in September. Russia carried out offensives near Kreminna, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, the Donetsk-Zaporizhia border, and western Zaporizhia, claiming some gains on October 2nd. The Russian Vostok Battalion continues complaining it is denied promises of serving as a second echelon force and lack of state awards. Russian occupation officials still transporting Ukrainian children to Russia disguised as educational trips. Key takeaways show Ukraine grinding out incremental gains amid Russian offensives across multiple axes. Drone attacks continue but in smaller numbers. Meanwhile, Russian forces face growing internal fractures, from Wagner's expansion to resentment over unequal treatment of units. Abductions of children persist in occupied areas. Ukraine Matters Update. The Ukrainian summer offensive campaign started on June 1st and ended in mid-October. Ukraine advanced about 10 kilometers in their main axis. Russia is in a worse position overall. Ukraine sustained heavy casualties initially, but then adapted their tactics to be more attrition-based, targeting Russian positions in artillery. This exhausted Russia's reserves and offensive capability. However, Ukraine needs to gain air dominance and field more anti-drone technology to tip the scales fully in their favor. Ukraine showed it is now on an even footing with Russia in combat capabilities. Continued weapon supplies from the West are key for Ukraine's future offensives. Ukraine made important advances and has a firm position going forward if it can secure ongoing aid. In summary, the Ukrainian summer offensive succeeded in wearing down Russian forces. Ukraine must secure Western aid and develop air and anti-drone capabilities for future decisive victories. Ukraine has proven its ability to adapt and overcome challenges.